Gabriel Phoenix, and welcome to another action-packed day. Today we got more, that's right, more guides for you to look at. And by the way, for the people who just looked at this and you want to play this game, I put the download link in the description below. Go ahead, download it and play the game. It's wonderful. I believe that link is also good for PC as well as mobile apps. So you guys will be able to have lots of fun in this. And let's get going. Let's get started with this unit. This unit guides for tier 2. That's right. Let's get into it. Boom. Now I know a lot of people had some questions. How you doing there? Yes, that's right. You first. Now I do have some very good updates on like my condition. I remember a lot of people, like, we were talking about, I was having severe back pains. I was working about 10 hours a game. Well, guess what, everybody? Not only did I get a new fancy snancy desk that's able to go up and down electronically, I also got myself, that's right, baby, a new chair from Secret Labs. It's really good. Let's see if I can show you guys this real quick. Stand up here. So, this is my wonderful Secret Lab chair. Let's see if I can point this down right here. It is gorgeous. Nice blue color right here. And let me tell you folks, it is comfortable. The chair is absolutely 100% comfortable. Way better than that. Way better than my last chair. Woo! It feels great to have it. I had to get the nice royal blue with the gold. You know, at first I was thinking about the red and the white, but then I switched over to the blue and the gold. So, let's get into, that's right, the guide videos for tier 2 units. Now, this has been one of my most requested videos, actually. Here, let me see if I can put this down a little bit more. Fix the camera. This has been one of my requested videos, not from a couple of people there. You should be mod? Yeah. You know, eventually as my channel grows, we're going to be doing this. Evil faction units, yes. So a lot of people have been asking me about the evil faction units. Mostly what they have to say is that, you know, hey Gabriel, I understand late game we can have whatever units we have, but as a starting player, when you really go in, what kind of tier 2 units should I be building? You know, what are good tier 2 units? What is your thoughts about tier 2 units? Can you still use those tier 2 units in late game? The answer is yes, 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 yes! Yes, you still can. So let's go into it. We do got a big list here. So let's dive into the whole buildings here. And let's start off with some recommendation for Agmar. In Agmar, like I told everybody in the beginning, you really want to use these crossbows. These orc crossbows are amazing. They do a fantastic job. They are truly, really ridiculously good units for taking lands when you start off. Mid game, you can still use them. Late game, unfortunately, it's better not to have them. You'll be stopped making them once you get your tier 3 units right here. You're going to primarily use these, but the tier 2 crossbows, really good early game. Really do pack a punch. Mid game, you still can use them. And we're going to be able to do a lot more into this. I'm telling you folks, it's going to be truly phenomenal. We are going to have such a wonderful time going over these units because I like tier 2 units. They are useful, especially in the evil factions. Now, in the good factions, not so much. You notice, I guess that's where the big advantages are pretty much is that our tier 2 units still have, they still have some use to them, and they actually have some practical use to them, even in late game. Like, for instance, Trackers are really good units. Why you would want to build a tier 2 tracker units early on game is because one, it's fast, you can travel really fast, they're tanky, they're able to reduce damage to 10, and they kill the units that actually have the lowest attack power first, which is, if you're capturing land, you're definitely going to want to use those. And as you hear my dog saying hello in the backgrounds, trying to get always, in every one of my videos, they're always trying to say hello. So, trackers are really wonderful. And, you know, these guys, they really do a lot in here. They want to be able to hit hard, fast. They do amazing damage per second. Do not 100% let these units fall inside, because something that is different with trackers when they become riders, they actually lose the torture effect, and they actually lose that, and they get what is called predator. Now, the predator is really good for mount units, but oftentimes, to be honest with you, sometimes you need to target low attack people. Like, there's infantry that has low attack, archers that have low attack. These units are really good if you're getting into your late game. And now when you're in your really late game, like you guys are level 50s and all that other stuff, you may not use them as much. But you know what? They're great units. Definitely 100% wonderful. You can use them for a very long time, save a large amount of resources, even though riders are not bad. Riders, you know, they take a pretty good amount chunk, but these resources are just the same amount as any of the tier 3 resources here. So it's not a bad exchange. They're pretty damn good. I really like them a lot. I'm actually next season, I know this season has been quite challenging because good faction units are really, really powerful. And it's not because their strength or you know, whatever, it's because of their abilities to reduce damage is ridiculous, and their healing abilities are ridiculous, and their defense is like triple of any units in the evil faction. So it's really hard to deal damage to them, and I think the devs really need to reduce the stats on their defense, or at least fix up them. Yeah, but good factions are like really tough, but that's what we're here. These videos are to teach you what to do with that, and that brings on to my second tier 2 unit. No, it's not going to be the stalker layer, and we're going to actually go down here into pirates. Pirates are good early game units. They are very good early game units. Once you're able to unlock this, you will be able to get this once you get into main city. I think it's 8 or 9, which is still middle game. They're really good to fight for, because when I say early stage, I don't mean beginning stage when you're trying to grind out your lands and you're trying to do the much as you can, and you're just, you know, grinding away and you're like, stand here, capture land here. I mean early stage, which mean when war is starting to break out and you need to fight. Your pirates are going to be really a blessing to you. One of the reasons why is because their burn attack here, really good, but their toughness and defense and damage is out good. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, Gabriel, what about the alchemists? The snappers, that's the other tier 2 units. Yeah, they can deal some nasty burn damage, but in reality, this is like something that I don't really like as much for these snappers. Their HP is really low. Damage really low. Defense is also low. With pirates, yeah, you have the same defense. HP is good, but their speed is better. You have good amount of damage. And another thing they get, the reason why I'm saying the pirates over the alchemists, and a lot of people, and one of the people on my server on my last video, we got in an argument because I was trying to make a point. I'm not saying alchemists are terrible and bad. They're really good at siege units. Yes, they have a place. Let me read here. I know this isn't a tier 2 unit, but what are your thoughts about tier 3 Reapers and Corsairs? I love Corsairs. Reapers are pretty good, but I've been using them and I'm kind of disappointed. I thought they'll do more damage. That's just a real quick thought. We'll go into what I think it's called stalkers. Really disappointed with them, and that's not their fault. They're a really good unit. It's the fault of the good faction units. They just reduce so much damage that Reapers cannot fully do their potentials. I've been fighting with them recently. They're decent, but I don't think they're worth the investment. If they don't change something in the next season with the Reapers, definitely I will not be making them anymore. But Corsairs are definitely worth it. Alright, so like I was saying with the Pirates, I believe the Corsairs are worth it, so this line is really good. Now, let me get something clear here about Alchemist and about the Snapper line, the whole line of Berserkers and stuff. If you're Isengard, and Isengard starts this off, yes, use the Snappers. If you're Isengard, because Isengard, you're going to start with your quarters. You're going to do the Berserkers. You're going to get these Alchemists. I don't like snipers. I really have said that a lot of times. There's better units out there than use the snipers. It's just how I 100% feel. But for your focused power units, of course, if you're in Agmar, you're going to be focusing on trackers and crossbows. Those are the really big units you're going to focus on. If you're in Isengard, of course, you're going to want to get your brawlers, especially the new brawlers. Reduce time in producing them. A major increase in stats. Wonderful units. These brawlers are phenomenal. And these are probably going to be your main units until you're able to break out into tier 3 and get other quarters. But snappers are going to be good. You're going to have to use them. You're not going to have the pirates available, and you're not going to have poison damage available to you. So those are what we use on focus units. Yes, they can deal a lot of damage, but they die so quickly. It's really a shame. Now going into trolls, because cave trolls are level 2s. Cave trolls, I would never produce them, personally. I know if you're in Mordor, they might be worth it for you if you start in Mordor, because you do have a tier 4 troll there, and the cave trolls may be a little bit more useful for you in your area, because the resources that Mordor has is heavily on grains and wood, if I remember, or heavily grains and iron, if I remember over there. But they may be kind of useful for you in the beginning while you're trying to build up. But in honesty, I don't like cave trolls. I'm actually stopped using mountain trolls. They're too expensive. They just don't do what is necessary done. They're kind of like, they need to be better, and that's 100% true. I think honestly, Mordor, which is I think they get the Morgul quarters. They get the worst starting units. I honestly feel this way, that they themselves get the worst starting units, because now they get riders. If you're in Mordor, 100% do your scout layers. Farm the living daylights out of your scout layers. Now, brutes are actually really good tier 2 units. They're really good, 100%. They are actually, I would recommend brutes. I do not recommend crushers. Crushers suck. I don't know what kind of thing. And I'm sorry, this is just being overly blunted. When you get your brutes, use them. Brutes are going to be really good for you. For their defense, and definitely going from farming and grinding, you're probably going to be using brutes a lot. And they do definitely have a great ability, armor break, and it's decent for them. You will never use these units late game. Forget about it. Don't ever use these units late game. Not worth it until they fix their attack, if they had a better attack. But brutes are actually really good. I personally will honestly say that brutes are better than crushers. For the cost of brutes, which is half of crushers, I would prefer using brutes over crushers any day. Why? Because their defense is really solid. They're really cheap to produce. They have an amazing decreased defense hit, which is no different than this decreased defense at all. So what? You get like priority towards the torture and do the lowest attack. Look at that stupid speed. They're slow. They are so slow. It's not even worth it. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, I keep flickering my nose. I'm ready for a fight, man. Gotta breathe over here. And that's the thing is that, you know, brutes are worth it. 100%. Don't waste your times on crushers. Until they fix crushers, I would not make crushers. I would stick with brutes up to about mid-late game. When I start getting my other tier 3s, then I will let them go. Because brutes are really good. They're really solid all around for the cost and how much you can make. Now look at that. You're making 100 units for every 15 minutes is phenomenal. I think they're the quickest units that you can make and produce outwards. They are really good, really solid units. I don't know what happened, what the devs did from brutes to crushers. Crushers are definitely not worth it. That 66 defense doesn't mean nothing accordingly. Yeah, evil units really do need a buff, and that's the thing. Let's be honest. I'm gonna say this really clear because we had this big discussion. Evil units do not need a buff. Good units need nerfs. They need to reduce the damage reduction they have, and they need to reduce the defense because it is ridiculously. It's like, yeah, we have strong units, but you can't really show how good they are because how ridiculous the good factions healing is, high defense, and definitely their annoying damage reduction. They have so much damage reduction for everything. It's really impossible to hit through a wall. Now, look at this. We're going to go over something here. I think I can show you guys what happened earlier. And this is something, let's see if I can pull this up. And this is exactly what I was talking about. And this is something that you guys in early game, you should be prepared because interesting enough, I'm going to be really honest about this. Interesting enough, tier 2 on the good factions are okay. They don't need any changing. It's the tier 3s. I don't know what happens with the evil faction where our tier 2 units, they're really good. And then tier 3, they're okay. I'm on server 5. The season's going to end. I'm on server 5. Next. By the way, for people who want to know what I'm playing next season, it's going to be Agmar. I'm gonna really represent. I'm gonna take it in hard. I'm gonna play to my fittest, and then I'm gonna beat the living daylights because I've been practicing and I've been focusing on what to do, and I'm gonna make sure that my next season in this game is gonna be a lot better. So here you got this damage reduction here. Just look at this. I have tier 3 units. It doesn't matter he is 32 or not, but it's just ridiculous because when you start doing pile-ups on a certain unit, you should be able to do it. But look, even his 27, these are all tier 3 units versus that. Didn't do nothing, didn't even phase or touched it. Here you go. Here's my guy, right? I don't know why it shows trolls. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. 10 hours ago. Let's see here. Okay, so look at this, right? So I did damage here decently, but when you go to the next one right here, I couldn't even touch these guys. They're really, really good. And yes, we do have the counters for it. And we could be, you know, my warband, I have my own warband. It's called Kings, by the way. So that's my warband. Level 5, my warband is called Kings. We actually do pretty decent here. Everyone has a lot of fun. You know, we do a lot of stuff, be able to play hardcore, do what we need to get done. It's a lot of fun here. You know, have a lot of fun in there. We actually went through a lot, and the season right here, Agmar, if you guys haven't known, it's over for Agmar, but it's fine. It's already ended the season. We did a lot, though. Let me tell you, I'm going to admit with this, my tier 2 units did a lot in this game, more than my tier 3 units. Trackers, love them. Love my trackers. They did absolutely wonderful. Look, we'll go back on subject here. Now, this is something that I think is a really good... Oh my god. This is... I'm going to be honest here. Ruhan, you guys have the best starting units ever. This quarter, Eastern quarters, is the best to start with. These evil humans are some of the best units in the game. Dragoons, wonderful. You got the Corsairs, brilliant. You got these guys, brilliant. These guys are all good, and same as their tier 2 units. Now, Marauders, they are ridiculously amazing stats. Some of the best stats early on game. You cannot complain about their stats. And what's great is that they have a damage reduction and they capture land faster. Let me tell you, they capture land faster to just gain more resources. So when you're gaining more resources and you're destroying a field structure, you're able to gain more resources. These guys are amazing early stage. And I gotta admit, I was tempted to go to Ruhan, but I'm gonna stick with Agmar. Agmar is the way to go. I'm gonna stick in there. I'm gonna do my best, and you better believe I'm gonna catch up, and I'm gonna be, because I don't have to spend now gems. I don't have to spend now in gems and commanders. I'm good on commanders. I have almost every commander in the game now, and I'm pretty damn good. And I'm about to get one more legendary if I can get lucky with freaking 2 pieces. Come on, somebody throw me a bone. I'll show you guys that in a moment. But definitely Marauders are amazing. You have some Pikemans here. Pikemans are really good. They're decent units. They have good defense, good damage, good everything around, and the costs for them are good. Plus, they get 100 people in there. Hey, hello, Val. How you doing there? Now, these units, they can be as good as possible. It just depends what you're doing, where you start off, and what evil faction you're going to be able to get to. Let me tell you, you have to be able to be smart. You have to be able to get in there, and you have to be able to know what is accordingly to your plan. Are you going to be grinding? Are you going to be joining war? If you're going to join war, you got to get your good tier 2 units. Like, for people who want to go into war, get your Marauders. Early stage, if you haven't got your tier 2, get your Marauders. Get your Trackers. Those are going to be your main units. Get your crossbows. Definitely. Don't waste time with Stalkers. They're not good early game. Forget about them. They're a waste of time. I tried them. Not good early game, not good early stage of war, not really a decent unit, but those are good. You're going to get your Brawlers. Brawlers are really good for war, early game war. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Now, Uric Archers are decent because they do inflict burn damage. I'm going to admit this. If you do have, and I'm going to say this with a grain of salt too, because they are a little bit expensive for what they do. Only make these if you have Shadow, if you have Kamal, or if you have a commander that has high focus damage. These guys are only good for commanders with focus damage. They actually do pretty good. Early game, really good. They able to do, and this is probably for people in more, probably people in Isengard. Sorry, Isengard are getting the snipers. These units will be really good for you to use early game, because they have that burn damage. If you get those type of commanders, really good starting off. I'm gonna go into some commanders too, about what commanders to use when you're doing an early game for your tier 2, why you're building up your main commander to be your strongest commander and leveling that up. So let's go in. I think there's one more unit I'm missing. We already said tier 2 snipers. Boom. Okay, no, not really. All right, and just so everybody knows, because you're all probably wondering, well, Gabriel, what about tier 1 units? What about tier 1 units? There's nothing about them. At the time you're able to use a tier 1 unit, you already got your tier 2. The game gives you so much army that you do not need to make tier 1 units. I'm going to repeat myself again. The game gives you free army that you do not need to waste your resources on any tier 1 unit. You just take what they give you, farm those lands, don't be like hasty and don't get in a rush and fight other players early when you haven't unlocked your tier 2. That's ridiculous. Don't even bother doing that. And don't go after land that is terrifying or evenly matched. Only take land in the very beginning when it's neglectable. Negligible. When it's negligible. When it's negligible, blah, 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 blah. I can't say this word for some reason. Why? When it's easily to be taken over. So when it's easily to be able to take it over, then you can be able to use it. Keep doing that. It's easy farmland, easy doing. Just do your main task. You'll get a whole army in instantly, and then you'll build up and get your tier 2 units. Don't waste time on your tier 1 units. Now, for siege units, I'm going to be very clear. For siege units, these are your bad boys, and these are your bad boys. Let me tell you, early stage, you can produce so many of these. So many. I mean, so many. So many. Let me tell you, these units are ridiculously good. Ridiculously good at taking siege, destroying forts, capturing city early game, and there is one more unit. So if you're in Mordor, make these tier 1 trackers, these tier 1 scouts early game, but mostly stick with your trackers. But man, these tier 1 scouts, wonderful siege units. If you're in, of course, Agmar, you starting off Agmar, same thing. You're going to do your scouts. Those are what you're going to use for your siege units. If you're in Isengard, of course, you're going to pick your breakers. That's what their name are. Breakers is in their name. They're meant to break things. You know that? Let me tell you, you is my new. Ah, thank you. And if you're in Ruhan, of course, you already know that you're going to do your mercenaries. Your mercenaries are your prime for early game sieging. These guys are really good. Now, that's for siege units. Of course, same thing for their tier 2. You want to use your marauders for tier 2 sieging. You want to use, of course, your trackers for tier 2 sieging. And you want to use your snappers for tier 2 sieging. Now, if you're able to unlock your snappers and everything, you're probably going to be in like mid to close to mid game going into late because you're able to unlock more units. I always recommend people, for me, I know everyone plays a difference. And I got a lot of heat from this last time I recommended this. I don't care. So, in the beginning, if you want to play this game and level up fast and you want to get as good as I am or get as many commanders as I am or to be able to progress as fast as I can, you want to focus on one quarter. Focus on one quarter. Focus on the quarter that you start off with. Ah, thank you so much, Revolt. Ah, thank you. I'm glad it helps out. I'm really glad. Just wonder if you can show us what army combination you use. Yes, definitely. I will definitely show you that right now. I'm actually working on a couple of new ones. So this way we'll be able to do it. I'll show you what tier 2 units as well. So, like I was saying before, with this, you want to focus on your quarter, especially if you're early games. I said this in one of my beginning guide videos. A lot of people are like, well, you know, you want to mix it up and stuff like that. No, trust me. You want to focus on your main faction's quarter because it's easier. You're going to do it faster. Your main task tells you to level it up, which is going to give you resources. It's going to give you gems. It's going to give you more land. You want more land. If you don't want more land, what are you doing? You can't have more land unless you finish your meat. For people who know what a brick in a wall, I mean, it doesn't go like that. It goes, if you can't have more pudding unless you want your meat, but it's okay. Well, you can't have more meat unless you want eat your pudding or something like that. But it's been a while since I've seen the movie. Trust me, guys. You know, nobody just goes, yeah, that brick in the wall movie. Did you see it recently? I don't know. The movie is about like 40 years old, maybe 50. I don't know how old it is now. Pink Floyd. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, I can definitely go into that. Do you think they will add Harrod in the next city? I do not know what they're going to do in the next season, to be honest with you guys. I am going to say this. Okay, so next season, right, I am going to be doing it really well, but I'm also going to be doing Rise of Warlord as well. Season 3, we are going to be doing it religiously. I'm going to be doing probably two videos of Rise of Warlords every week, 2 videos of Lord of the Rings every week. I'm going to try to balance both games. I thought about doing a third game, but I was like, next season's opening up, Gabriel. Do you think you're going to have the time? I mean, you got to put a lot of attention in each game, and, you know, a lot of people count on you. You got to do it. A lot of people count on you, Gabriel. If you can't do it, how can you do it? So, yes, I think next season, I'm a little disappointed about the good and evil faction mixing, but at the same time, reconnecting. Did I disconnect? I'm trying to see here. For some weird reason, it was weird. If I disconnect, I'm sorry, folks. I am sorry. Okay, good. I didn't disconnect. Good. I got a warning sign saying, hey, OBS disconnect. Or maybe it was just OBS telling me, Gabriel, calm it down, okay? Your level's here. You need to calm it down. And don't think I don't see some of you guys' comments. You don't like my shouting. You don't like my energy. But I don't care. I am just here to have fun. And if you don't want to have fun with me, then you can go outside and hose yourself down. But anyways. So, anyways, guys, like, back to the main point. And by the way, that's my Discord. I keep saying by the way. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I do have a Discord. You guys are more than welcome to join. Yes, the link is in the description below. And you guys are more than welcome to join. Have fun. We do Lord of the Rings. We do Rise of Warlord in there. There's a lot of stuff in there. We even do Final Fantasy Tactics that's in there. There's a lot of games that you guys can join the community. I think it's now up to 70 people, maybe 80. I don't remember. It's been just a lot of people there. So in this game, Lord of the Rings, let's get back. Gabriel, get back and focus, okay? You gotta get focused. All right, in the Lord of the Rings, the army combination that I like to use. So let's go in with my main army combination. Right now, my favorite combination to do for Kamal, for the Shadow, I am changing him up. Don't worry. I used to be able to use, all I did was actually use riders and I used dragoons. That combination alone, an amazing combination. You will do damage to people. You will do great. But my Kamal is actually more focused on doing focus damage. So what I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to use arc blasters, corsairs, and then I am going to be doing, where are you? I'm going to use riders. Main reason why I want to use riders is because with riders, you're going to be able to hit quick. They're going to be able to do damage to mount units, which are, of course, your archers are going to have problems. Your corsairs are going to do the focus damage because you have that ring wraith for Kamal. So let's go into Kamal real quick. And this is just so people can see what I use, and then I'll go into some tier 2. I don't think I did this for the last video either. So right here, we're doing Kamal. The way how I build Kamal, I use Max. I'm going to use Shadow of the East. Really good because it allows me to prioritize units with the highest defense, and those are the ones that are always going to give you the problems the most. Ring Wraith, wonderful. Max it out 100%. You're going to max out, of course, your Screech. This is going to stun, and this is going to allow you to do most of the damage to your enemy commanders. Let me get some water here. Enemy commanders. I'm also going to be maxing out poison damage. Poison damage is really fantastic. It's not only able to continue to do damage, but it actually will stack with the other units' damage as well. So when you're using burn, when you're using Morgul blasters, this poison damage will hit again, their poison damage will hit again, and it's just hitting, poison. What's up, Myers? How you doing? Welcome to the party. Yeah, grooving and doing, yeah. Water, it's so delicious. So, back to what I was saying with this. Now, I originally was going to go ahead and do this because I was like, why not? Sure, for sure. But actually, I changed my mind. I'm actually going to be leveling this up because this is actually really good. And I misunderstood what that means. You love my... Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the love. Thank you all for watching and being supportive of me. I really do appreciate it. Now, I do not like this. I don't think... And I know a lot of people disagree with me because they're like, you know, Fallens, you can use this or you can do this with other things. I don't like his tier 5. His rank 5, I believe, is absolutely useless right now. Main reason is because lowering defense doesn't really do as much as it can. It really does suck to do it because you're wasting damage on debuffs. I'm going to say this again. You're wasting damage on debuffs when automatically their units are better than yours. I'm going to be honest. You know, when you're facing good factions, their units are going to be better than yours. And that's what you have to focus on, is just doing more damage and penetration damage. And the only way you're going to do penetration damage is by using focus damage, by using poison, by using burn. That right there is going to do your damage. Physical damage, you're going to have a hard time doing. But there's ways around it. There's certain commanders that are just excellent. We already talked about that in the other video. This is not a commander video. I will do a commander video if you guys want me to. I'll go through each and every commander of the evil faction, and we'll talk about how to build them and what to do. If you guys want me to do that, I will be more than happy to do that. In each and one of these unit videos, in each one of my videos, I usually talk about a commander, and then you can always piece them up or everything. But definitely with this unit here, I really do like using all this, and when I level him max, I'm going to make sure to level up second in command max. I'm not going to waste my time with this one. I'm not going to waste my time in increasing defense. It's just not worth it. Unless you're doing more physical damage, it's just not worth it. Now, for tier 2 units... Oh yeah, and somebody asked me about Shadow. Okay, so Shadow's actually very interesting. I'm actually going to be doing Shadow different. I just don't have the gem to reset him yet. I have to wait for tomorrow. And of course, these guys are trying to come along, trap me, attack me, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. As Agmar, you know, what's the thing about Agmar is that they just won't give up, won't surrender, and you know they're winning and they won't leave me alone. They've been following me all through the map. They follow me here, kick some butt, follow me here, kick some butt, follow me here, kick some butt, went over here, kick some butt, and now I'm over here, and then I'm running out of space to teleport. So for some reason, they just love to hate me. Witch King is some of the best. Well, yes, but Shadow is ridiculous. I'm gonna be straight up honest. Shadow himself. Let's go to this commander here, and then I'll go into some tier 2 commanders that you must use really efficiently, and this is good for free-to-play players too as well. Shadow here, he is really good. I mean, you don't need to waste your time on, and I'm gonna reset him, of course. I'm actually gonna reset him, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these out right here, and then I'm gonna put it right here and max this out. Shadow, you don't need any blue. Forget about the blue on Shadow. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put this normal attack deals 75 damage to all enemies. You want that. Then you're gonna put this normal attack that he does additional focus damage. And then you're going to put Ring Wraith, because what you're going to do with Ring Wraith is going to allow you to actually be able to put in multiple units with Burn. You're going to put in multiple units with, I would set him with Berserkers, Corsairs, and Mongers. Really good, or not even Berserkers. If you want to put Dragoons, put the blasters, and then you put in Corsairs. Reason for this is because double attack on self with Shadow. So you're dealing double the attack every turn, plus your Ring Wraiths is going to do double the damage as well, because they're attacking normally, and then they're going to do their burn damage, and that's what's really good, or their poison damage. So Shadow himself is literally multi-damage every turn. That's what this guy said. I'm going to hit everybody. I ain't going to do focus damage, so that's already double damage right there. I'm going to increase the damage I do, and then I'm going to attack twice, so not only am I going to do double the damage, but I have a possibility I could do quadruple the damage, because every normal attack, when he normal attacks, he does focus damage. So if he's able to do more damage, he's able to attack twice, he has a possibility of damaging 4 times each turn, maximal potential right there. That right there is ridiculous. And that goes on to his troops. And if you look at here, he's evenly balanced with might and focus. So you can make a plethora of combination units with him. And they are an amazing, solid, really solid units. He is truly an amazing champion. I would definitely highly recommend him. Now let's go into some tier 2. So tier 2 units that are probable with rare heroes. One of the best ones, if you're in Agmar, if you're in, and I didn't realize this until recently, and I said, man, I should have leveled this guy earlier. I would have did some amazing damage if I just focused on him and locked him to level 5. This guy here, Maltak, is a freaking amazing early game. Let me tell you, this guy is just wonderful, especially for Agmar, because I didn't notice this little thing here. I said his ability here. If you have, I don't understand what focus damage is. Is it like poison damage but stronger? Focus damage is like magic damage. If you do focus damage, it's similar like poison, similar like burn, except for it doesn't continue. It actually does a higher amount of damage. It's like burst damage. So if you think like magic missile, if for people who play Dungeons and Dragons, or people who understand what a magic missile is, it's just extra damage done that's not physical, so it does more penetrating hit, and it's able to go past certain walls and blockage, and able to just do pure damage. That's what focus damage is. So I built this guy here because let me tell you, he is absolutely amazing. I'm actually thinking next season to level him up to level 40, using him as one of my main, because I like using trackers. And the main reason why for that, because trackers are orcs, and he is able to increase their damage. He's able to make sure they recover HP, and he's able to make sure they have 40 defense. Let me say this, how ridiculous this guy is with those. I didn't even know this, and I was so stupid. And I'm going to admit, I should have used this guy early on, especially for Agmar, since we get trackers really easy and riders really easy. Same as Mordor. Mordor, they get trackers really easy. And let me tell you, my God, this guy, early game, I would have dominated way faster if I just focused on using him and just waiting for Kamal. Kamal was really good, but Kamal needed time, because the problem with epics and legendaries that you're going to find with, especially when you're using tier 2 units and stuff like that, you have to level them up really significantly. Even, yes, their first ranks abilities are good, but they're very hard. But these rare units, they're very easy to get your tier 5s, very easy to level them up. You know, they're just much better early game stage, and you can really dominate. And I am definitely going to be using this guy early game, really going on. Another guy I really like, Gorebag. Yeah, Gorebag is really good. So, here. I want to make sure these guys are just all having fun and dandy. Look at them. Look at them. They're all having fun and dandy in my house. Anyways, back to the main subject. Yeah, yes, Gorebag is really good. We don't get Gorebag, unfortunately, in Agmar. I don't think we do, because I haven't gotten him at all. But I have seen them, and I have seen other people use them. Another good rare commander would be Shaku for Agmar and Mordor. Shaku is another good one, because he has the same thing. He's able to do that, able to heal up, able to give him high defense. I am going to be leveling this guy up to level 5. I really didn't notice him because I only saw him here, but I could have been got him to tier 5 really easy. Not hard to get him to tier 5 either. He's really good as a solid rare. Another good rare to use for tier 2. Now if you're in Isengard, Kamal is good for tier 5 if you build him a certain way. I just don't like him. You meant Khaldun. Khaldun is fantastic. The more I'm learning about the evil humans, early game, they are fantastic. You know what? I've been really diving really deep into them since my last video, and I've been really looking at some strategies and builds. They're really good. I gotta admit, as starting units for tier 2, I highly recommend using the evil humans. Hands down. Unless you're Isengard. Isengard, you want to be sticking with the Uruk. These guys are really good for doing that. Again, this is not a commander video. I'm just letting you guys know tier 2, and we're not gonna go too deep into there. But I'm just letting you guys know. So I would recommend starting units for tier 2 for your commanders to start is actually going to be the Maltak for Shaku, right? Yeah, Shaku. And also Khaldun is also a really good one as well, because for you most of your units that are in tier 2, you're going to be using this effect here, which is Evil Alliance. And he's also good with his normal attack, and he's able to apply more damage. Doesn't have doesn't have Shakun have? Yeah, but Shakun is really good. These guys are really good. I just alone these two commanders. You can always have a third one. They're really good as far as starting units off with tier 2 units, and they will really help you level up. Like I said in the beginning, I wish I knew a little bit more. I would have actually waited on my epics and waited on my legendaries because they took way too long to level up, and focus on my rare commanders. Get my commanders to a high enough level, and when you get that, yeah, he does. He has the same potential portrait as Malok. That's why they're really good. So when you get these guys here, and beginning when you have trackers, imagine tier 5 trackers with these things right here. My God, how good would that be? You know, they are just, and trackers are really good early game units. I don't think there's a tier 2 unit, even good factions, a tier 2 unit that can stop a tracker. They're really good. Really, really good. Ridiculously good. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. It's like, you will get them up to a certain things. Use your rare commanders, and this is something I forgot to say. Well, I didn't even think about it. You know what? I really didn't think about it until after going in really in a long season like we have been. Your rare commanders definitely are the ones that are going to be needed early game. I would highly recommend using your rare commanders early game. And to be honest with you, they are the ones that are going to get you your first 200 cap. And that's when you're going to be like, okay, I got my 200. Boom. Then you can start training. Once you get your 200 power level, you just start training. Boom, boom, boom. Focus, sending them out, using your ability power, boosting every single one, and then slowly capturing land with them. And that's what you start doing, and you're producing. That's the best way. Which one is better? Maltok or Shaku? Huh. You can get them both. I agree. Myers, I agree. You can get them both. Very easy to get them both to tier 5. I don't have them tier 5 because I didn't really think anything of this guy. I was using epics, I was using legendaries, and then it just kind of like hit me like, you know, I use riders a lot, and the riders would be so broken if they're able to heal. Look, able to heal, able to deal more damage because they do a lot of damage, and they're immune to madness. Can we say immune to madness? Immune to madness. And their defense is high. Now, which one would be better? Well, I'm gonna say Maltok is gonna be better than Shaku. You can use them both. The reason, all right, let me say why. It's all because of this ability here, Evil Alliance. Because with Evil Alliance, you're gonna reduce damage. So if you had to choose to start off with one and then build the other, I would start off with Maltok because, yeah, they count as mount units and orcs and wargs. So they actually have 3 tags. They count as mount units and all this stuff. Yes, good faction can actually inflict madness. It's only a couple of, I think it's only like 2 commanders in the whole entire thing. But you also want to make sure they're immune to madness because you fight other evil factions too. Let's be honest with that. You'll fight other evil factions too. If they could. If only they could. I would, if you were doing trackers, I would definitely build them with leveling this up 100% because normal attacks on him will cause the enemy stats to lower, which is ridiculous. 10%, max is 20%. Sorry, 20% reduce on stats. Plus, you're giving them minus 20. I think this is no, not minus 20, minus 12 on. Minus damage. Then you're giving them a bonus attack and damage. Then you're giving them 40 defense, and you're making them able to heal. That is ridiculously good. that automatically makes trackers, I'm just gonna be honest, into almost a tier 4, almost a tier 3 unit. Well, it would make them a tier 3 unit. It'll make riders almost a tier 4 unit. That's what I was trying to say. Definitely really good early game for Agmar and Mordor. That's the guy you're going to be using with this guy. Those two units together, you're going to dominate early game because your mount units and your everything else is going to be amazing. So, for Ruhan, what are you going to be using? I would recommend highly for your tier 2. I would recommend for the rares that you're going to be using is Kaladun. Kaladun because he does help evil men. Like I said, he has this. And he's able to give this. He gives your evil men attacking twice. That way you can do your marauders. Because your marauders count as definitely as tier 2, as mount units and evil men. So you're able to give them twice the attacking power. You're able to give them twice the reduction in damage. So that's really good. So Dragoons, definitely good for him. If you're in Ruhan, I would definitely start with him with those tier 2 units. And then you want to do this girl right here. I forgot her name. Yursara. Yursara, you want to be able to do it because she's really good now. I don't have her maxed out because I didn't start out like that. But she also has the reducing damage. She also has 50% chance of reducing physical damage. She's pretty good. And yes, you want to use Maltok as well. You want to definitely use him as well as evil humans as well. They're really good, 100%. Yes, definitely you can use them as siege too. You can definitely use the Shaku as siege as well as you can use Yursara. I believe Yursara also has siege too. You can definitely use her as siege as well. She's really good at too early game. Now for Isengard, you want to stick with these two guys. I mean, they're really good. They do berserkers. This guy right here is going to be your best starting unit, hands down. Really, really good unit right here. Because look at that, his might. He's able to heal. It's only this ability that makes it so ridiculously good. This right here is just so ridiculously good. This heals you so high in HP after dealing damage, and berserkers deal high damage, brawlers deal high damage. You're gonna have a really, really good. What do I think about Gothmal? Gothmal. Oh, Gothmal. Can I, in all honesty, I don't like him. Honestly, I think he takes second place for the worst epic and evil faction. I'm going to be honest. The first place that goes to the worst epic has to be him. I know a lot of people are like, but he has healing, blah, blah, blah. I got to admit, this guy right here, I don't know what they were trying to do with him. He's all over the place. I think he is the worst epic in the whole game for the evil faction. I know what you're gonna say. I know about the whole entire thing, but to be honest with you, you can rather use Shadow or Kamal to do the same thing with Alchemist and use your Screech to stun them, and you will cripple them. But Gothmal, yes, he has lots of buffs, but he's only good with orcs and trolls. Yes, he has good with orcs, but in reality, he doesn't do nothing. Look, all right. This is not a commander video. I will make a commander video, but I'm gonna say this is my two piece. he absolutely does not help. He's good at building a tank. He's a good defender. Yes, he does give an army build and everything else. But this guy, definitely not the best. 100%. You know who is really good? I'll tell you right now, Epic. Malf of Sauron, amazing Epic. This guy here, terrific Epic. He does so much. He's able to do a lot, able to take care of things really easy. Luz is one of the best epics in the game. He does phenomenal. Shadow, Kamal and Shadow, we don't need to even talk about that. These guys are just hands down beautiful, beautiful commanders. But again, that's how I feel. Out of all of whatever, these guys, they're trying to take over and they're gonna try to kill me. Blah 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 blah. They're probably gonna kill me. I don't care. It's end of season. I'll just revive to some random spot. Blah blah blah. Don't even care. They're just having fun. They're doing their best. They're doing whatever they can. So, in all the commanders, and by the way, for everyone who wants to know, it, like I said before, Evil Faction is like playing hard mode in this game, and it's 100% true. It's like playing high difficulty. But out of all the epics in here, these guys, these two right here in the bottom, they are the lowest on the bottom. That's how I feel. And just to let everybody know how I feel about the legendaries, Black Serpent is the worst. He's only good if you get him high in tier 5, if you get him ranked tier 5, tier 3, but he is the worst. He sucks. I have used him the whole entire game, and let me tell you, I had more epics do better than he does. But Sauron is the best. Sauron is the best. Witch King is amazing. I almost have Undying here. I actually need to get 2 more, and then I get him with that. So I got to figure out how to do that before the season ends. So, yeah, everybody. That's how it is. It's really good. Thank you all for watching. I've been enjoying this. I know a lot of people are going to send me comments. What are you talking about? The worst epic in the game. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're doing. And this is not how it goes. If you combine this and this, and this and this and this, and this and this and this, and we will all play and join hands, and we'll sing Kumbaya. Thank you guys, though. I appreciate everybody watching. It's always been a pleasure. Thank you all for coming on board. Again, like I said, this season is pretty much over for me. For Lord of the Rings, the videos, depending on how everything goes, I'm trying to think of what I'm going to be doing next. I'm going to go over Commanders. We're going to definitely have fun and all that. But I'm definitely going to be jumping on Rise of Warlord. You guys are going to see a lot of action on Rise of Warlord. It's going to be nuts in Rise of Warlord. We're all merged in one server, and we're going to have the giant factions, and there's going to be new heroes, new things coming out. We are super excited for it. I can't wait for Season 3 in Rise of Warlord. It's going to be wonderful. And then when Season 2, technically Season 3 of Lord of the Rings come out, I think it's coming out the end of next month, November. I think it's the end of November when our season's over. So, yeah, we'll be able to have a great time. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. It's been a blast. You all have been a wonderful day. Peace out. Thank you guys for the support. This is Gabriel Phoenix signing out.